Hagerty from Tennessee. Just for a quickie, I mean, what exactly did Trump do wrong? What was illegal here?
They haven't proved anything that's illegal, Larry. This is just another sham that they're using to try to deflect the public's attention. But what they've done in this case, they're making President Trump even stronger in the polls. Every time they attack him, he gets stronger. You heard him just mention his poll results. But the American public is losing confidence in the system overall. They see a weaponized judiciary like this, and I think it completely destroys the average citizen's confidence in the system. It's a shame. It's a downright shame.
Yeah, and it's not working for Biden either, but it is taking its toll on the system. Senator Hagerty, foreign policy expert, among other things, former ambassador to Japan. Yesterday on the Sunday talk shows, Secretary of State Blinken says the Biden administration will give no weapons to Israel until they sufficiently protect or have a plan to protect civilians. Second, no weapons to Israel. They want Israel to leave Gaza altogether, okay? Third, Israel weapons are in violation of the international humanitarian law. And National Security Advisor Sullivan says that they are withholding sensitive intelligence on Hamas. They're withholding that from Israel. Now, this is like, who's the enemy here? I forgot.
It's just shocking, Larry, to see the both sidisms that are coming out of the Biden administration. You know, at the very outset, Joe Biden says the right things with respect to defending Israel. Then they start looking at their domestic polls. They see, I think, a disinformation campaign that's taking great effect here. You've got these kids on college campuses. They don't even know what river and sea they're talking about. At the same time, the poll numbers are moving in the wrong direction in Michigan, and the Biden administration is responding. They reward Hamas every time they do something like this. And to have our Secretary of State step into this fray and try to micromanage a situation he can't possibly fully understand is really just a shock and a dismaying situation for me. I think you know this. We would never be in this situation if President Trump were in office.
No, I mean, Trump makes it a point now, every campaign stop, including this gigantic rally in Wildwood, New Jersey, to repeat his support for Israel. And to repeat, it was Mr. Trump moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and negotiated the Abraham Accords and isolated Iran. So not only did we bankrupt them, but we stopped them from giving money out to Hamas and Hezbollah. There would never have been a war. Now, Trump says this repeatedly. Does he have the ground to stand on, in your judgment?
Absolutely. And you're referring to the maximum pressure campaign on Iran. Let's not call this anything other than what it is. What's happening with Hamas right now is all funded by Iran. It's Iran's technology. It's their know-how. And this was not happening under the Trump administration. He put in place the maximum pressure campaign. You and I both worked on it. I had to go to Prime Minister Abe in Japan and get the Japanese to stop buying Iranian crude oil. That happened around the world, Larry. And what we did is we brought Iran's foreign reserves down to below $8 billion. They were broke. Hamas and Hezbollah were widely reported as being out of business. As soon as Joe Biden comes in, he starts looking the other way, stops enforcing the sanctions, enriching Iran in the process. You know, he has a devastating domestic energy policy here in America, so he's encouraging Iran to pump at record levels right now. Well, that enrichment, same is true for Russia. That enrichment of Iran is facilitating all of this.
Why doesn't Biden tee off on China? Not about EVs, okay? Americans don't want EVs. We were just talking about it. Ford Motor Company has been losing $100,000 per car, okay, on these crazy EVs that people reject. But China has broken the sanctions. China is importing 1.5 million barrels a day from Iran, which then, of course, takes that money, estimated to be as much as $100 billion in the last 3 years, and throws it right at Hamas, and Hamas attacks Israel. Why don't the Bidens go after China on that point?
Larry, as usual, you've hit the nail right on the head. China is indirectly financing all of this because of the lack of sanction enforcement that we're not enforcing on Iran. We absolutely should step back into the fray here, impose sanctions. The maximum pressure campaign was working. We should do it right away. And China needs to understand that we mean business. That means that there should be real consequences for them breaking the sanctions. This administration will not do anything with respect to China. They are walking all over us. Just look at what's happening in the South China Sea, the East China Sea, the Taiwan Strait. I mean, everything is moving Xi Jinping's way.
One person, one senator who has come out in approval of Biden's policies siding against Israel is Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders of Vermont. And my question is, it looks to me Mr. Sanders is now running domestic and economic policy, and we always kind of knew that. Now he's running foreign policy. Is that unfair? I'm not casting aspersions against Sanders. I just disagree with his politics and his policy. It looks like he's running the White House right now.
Well, whatever deal was cut in 2020 that resulted in Joe Biden becoming their nominee didn't give the American public what they thought they're getting. We didn't get a moderate Joe Biden. We got Bernie Sanders policies. And as you say, now it's moving into the foreign relations zone.
Yep.
I think Bernie Sanders represents the far left wing of the Democrat Party. They are getting their way. Hamas is certainly getting its way. Hamas is winning at every turn here. And it's as if America's enemies are getting preferred treatment and our allies are taking the back seat.
Yeah, what a reversal. Anyway, Senator Bill Hagerty, thank you, sir.
Wonderful to be with you.
Appreciate it very much, as always.